post-World War, after 1945. So all the parties, all the states came together to establish an organization which is helpful for the reconstruction and in order to deal with the balance of the payment and in order to maintain the global trade order. So in order to satisfy all these things, first they came up with GATT, means General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, to deal with the global trade order. And in order to deal with the balance of the payment, so they established International Monetary Fund. So in order to reconstruction of the infrastructure in the country, so they developed the World Bank. So earlier we were having GATT, that is General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. So GATT itself was having some flaws in it. The first criteria was it's a most favored nation. So the thing is, if C1 country is allowing or importing products from C2 with free trade agreements, so there were no trade agreements between C1 and C2, the same free trade should be allowed by the C1 with all other countries as well. So it is called as most favored nation. So I am favoring C2, the same favor should be allowed for all the countries, so which is not possible. So that is a problem with the GATT. And so the second condition is national treatment. So what is this national treatment? Suppose we will import product from other countries. So once it is reaching our country, so we should not partiality we should not make some partiality between the domestic product as well as the imported products. All products should be treated equally after the importing. So that is what the national treatment tells. So so these are the problems with the GATT. So after the 8 rounds of the conference in the Uruguay, 1995, 1st of the January, World Trade Organization came into action. So this WTO will be having two councils. First one is Ministerial Conference, the second one is the General Council. So all the states were meeting once in every 2 years, okay, and whatever the decision were taken, that will be the based on the agreements on consensus. So out of all, if any one state rejects the decision, the entire decision will be false, it will lapses. So if all the states agrees, then only it comes to an act. And next we have the General Council. All countries meet only in once in 2 years. So in order to address day-to-day problems, we are having General Council, which will address the disputes, day-to-day disputes. So the World Trade Organization looks after the world trade barriers. So we can classify the barriers into two types: tariff as well as non-tariffs. So the tariffs are visible, non-tariffs are invisible things. So visible tariff means as soon as the product is imported, we will charge the taxes on it. So there is a tariff, it is a visible thing. Next we have is the quota. So what is this quota, which is a non-tariff? So there is a quota, there is a percentage till which we can import the things, above which we are not supposed to import. So that is called as quota. It is a limit beyond which we cannot import the things from the other country. So next thing is monetary restrictions. Suppose things are imported, so in return we need to pay them in dollars. So we need to pay them in dollar. Now the government will not give dollar in returns of rupees, so it will create problem in discharging the dollars. So that is called as monetary restrictions. Next is administrative and technical restriction. Now the government will tell some restrictions or some quality checks. If the product is satisfied with this quality, then only it can be imported, otherwise we are not supposed to import. So such restrictions can be imposed by the government. Those are technical restrictions. And the last one is the government procurement policy. Government itself making some laws in order to prevent the highest importing. So these are the tariff as well as non-tariff which the World Trade Organization will look after. And it will also looks after the subsidies given by the country to their citizens. So in order to limit the export, so a country has to minimize its subsidies. So there are two conditions. First condition is a country whose gross net income is $1,000 can subsidize their citizen for 3 consecutive years. More than 3 years we cannot subsidize. So it is the first condition. And next is, suppose a country's export is more than 3.25% of the global export, then it should stop subsidizing the citizens. So these are the two conditions while subsidizing. So India is a Schedule 7 country. Okay, so India is a Schedule 7 country, which is a developing country. So 8-year relaxation is provided for India to give the subsidies. The World Trade Organization looks after subsidy on agriculture as well. So it is called as Agreement on Agriculture. So what the World Trade Organization tell is, so there should be a market access between all the countries. As far as food or the agriculture products are concerned, so there should not be any barriers, there should not be any boundary. Every country can import any food products from the other country. There should not be any barrier. So that is the market access. And the second is domestic support. So this will tell us about the subsidies. So there are 3 boxes are there: green box subsidy, amber box as well as blue box. So it is a yellow box subsidies. So there is W2 has adopted a traffic light approach for the agriculture subsidies. So what is green box subsidies? Subsidizing on agriculture on some parts like research and development, pesticide, fertilizer, storage. So giving subsidy on these matters, giving subsidy on research and development, giving subsidy on pesticide, giving subsidy on storage and fertilizer, it will not affects the market of the other country. Okay, so whatever the subsidy we are giving to our citizens, it will not affect the other country market or other country citizens. So it is called as a green box subsidy. So it is allowed, we can subsidize. So what is amber box? So these are the subsidies by giving to our citizen which will affect the market of the other state or the other countries. So we need to limit them. So that is what is called as amber box subsidies. Next we have de minimis principle or the de minimis level. So a developing country is allowed to subsidize only 10% of their total agriculture product. Okay, so out of 100%, only 10% of the total value of agricultural product. So that much subsidy is allowed. So the second condition is, for developed countries, allowed subsidy is 5% of total value of the agricultural product. Next we have the market price support is equals to minimum support price minus the external reference price. So in order to deal with the balance of the payment, they come up with the International Monetary Fund. So it is also called as a Bretton Woods Twins. International Monetary Fund as well as World Bank are called as a Bretton Woods Twins. So there are 189 members for IMF. Headquarters is situated at Washington DC. So we have the Board of Governor, below which we have the Executive Board, which is a key body for the decision making. Next we have the Managing Director. So in Executive Board we are having only 24 members, but the member nations are 189. So India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka will be represented by only one member. That's why out of 189 members will be having only 25 members. Next, so what is the source of fund for the International Monetary Fund? Who will source? Who will be funding the IMF? So in order to join the IMF, so we need to fund, so that is called as a quota. So this quota will be decided based on our GDP, our openness of the economy, and our international reserves. So based on this, IMF will tell us you need to give this much dollars in order to be a member. So that is the source of funding. And we have the new arrangements to borrow. So new arrangements to borrow means, so either IMF can give loan to a member country, or IMF will tell other member countries to give loan to the member countries. That is called as new arrangements to borrow. IMF itself can give money, or it will tell other member countries to give or help to the member country. Next we have the lending. So there are two types. First one is non-concessional as well as concessional. Non-concessional comes with huge rate of interest, and concessional will comes with without or less rate of interest. And in SDR is special drawing rights. Suppose, so it is 30%. Meaning is, so I gave 100 rupees to join the IMF. Okay, so during my joining I gave 100 rupees. So I can borrow till 130 rupees. So that is what is special drawing rights. So this drawing right will be decided on the quota. So we have we can draw money in dollars, euros, Chinese yuans, Japanese yen, and pound sterlings. So US dollar is having highest money. The value of SDR is based on our basket of currencies.